averaging better than 24 points per game in his last 7 games. As for the Spurs, Roger Mason Jr. will operate both as the starting 2-guard and also possibly as the backup point guard tonight. Keep an eye on the Red Rocket, Matt Bonner, one of the better outside shooting big men in the NBA. Let's check in now with the third member of our team tonight. Here's Heather Cox.
Coach Popovich, who has remained steadfast in his resolve to limit the amount of minutes for his starters, struggled throughout the day on whether or not to play Tim Duncan tonight. Duncan has missed at least one game of the last 2 back-to-backs because the Spurs played on the road last night, and because Duncan logged 33 minutes, Pop was leaning towards sitting his star. That is until Duncan arrived 2 hours ago, intent on playing and pleading his case, telling Pop, my knees feel as good as they can, and Popovich wore down, guys.
Well, JB, they've got a great relationship. They've been together so many years, and at this point of the season, with so much at stake in every game, if Tim Duncan says, Coach, put me in, Greg Popovich will put him in.
Well, in the end, he wants his team healthy, Dan, and that's what it's all about. You see the Boston Celtics going through the same thing with Kevin Garnett. Health is paramount when you start the NBA playoffs, regardless of your seeding.
Right now, San Antonio, as Aldridge hits the tough turnaround. San Antonio is 50-27, a half up on Houston atop the Southwest. They're in the 3rd spot. The Spurs are right now in the West. Portland, just a game back of the Spurs. They're 49-28. They are in the 5th spot.
Well, a huge game tonight because Portland has won 2 of 3 against San Antonio. They win the tiebreak if they win this game tonight. Huge game.
Yeah, off the window, no good for Tim Duncan. In the first 3 games this year, the home team won all 3 meetings between these two. Tony Parker had 39 points against the Blazers the last time they met here. Portland has lost its last 11 games in this building. Steve Blake fouled by Roger Mason.
You know, I'm not big on that stat, man, when you say 11 in a row, because this group has not lost 11 in a row. You see it all the time. They say, the Portland Trailblazers are 3-37 their last 40 trips to San Antonio. Who cares? These guys weren't even born for some of these games.
I wasn't going to use it, but you threw it out there to Nate McMillan when we were talking today, and I was stealing it.
I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at you. I'm just saying that stat in general, I don't like it.
Aldridge again holds that ball so high up above his head, an unblockable jump shot.
And this guy has been on a tear. A 35-point, 18-rebound game a couple weeks ago. His scoring average has gone up every single month this season. People are going to get to know LaMarcus Aldridge.
Former 2nd overall pick in his 3rd year in the NBA. Mason, one of the better outside shooters in the NBA, for a while was up among the leaders in 3-point percentage. A recent slump has cost him some spots there, but he knocks down his first one of the night.
Dan, Mo Williams, the best offseason acquisition this season. Number 2, I think, is Roger Mason Jr.
Aldridge draws the double team down to Joel Prisbilla. Still 6 to shoot. Blake around Duncan. The jumper over Parker. Not there. Rebound Mason. Mason defended by Nicolas Batum, the rookie from France, who I know has impressed you in spurts this season. He's got some ability. Tony Parker and one.
Well, no surprise. Tony Parker to the basket, where he might be the best finisher that we have in the game. Yes, I know LeBron James and Kobe Bryant and Dwayne Wade, but this guy lives in the paint, led the league in points in the paint a couple years ago. And we mentioned in the open that if it hadn't been for Dwayne Wade and Kobe Bryant, LeBron, how great they've been, Tony Parker, a valid MVP candidate. He has been terrific.
63% from the floor his last 8 games, almost 22 points per game on the season. And Tim Duncan threw Tony Parker's name out there as an MVP candidate, and also a guy who, when you talk about Chris Paul and Deron Williams, Tim Duncan says Tony Parker's got to be right in there as well. Greg Popovich agrees.
Well, I have to agree, too. I've been pretty hard on Tony Parker over the years that I didn't think he was a pass-first point guard. But his game has gone to a new level this season.
His scoring is up. His assists are up as well. And both he and Greg Popovich feel there's no doubt this is the best season he's had in the NBA now in his 8th season in the league. Brandon Roy with the elbow jumper.
Always under control. Can shoot the mid-range jump shot. He can go out to the three-point line where he's 38%. Very respectable. And you're going to see the ball in his hands at the end of the game. He runs the point, basically, for the Portland Trailblazers. Anytime things get tight, the ball is in Brandon Roy's hands.
Parker trying to get rid of Blake. Finds Mason. Second three already for Roger Mason Jr. Aldridge with a long jumper over Matt Bonner. Here come the Spurs. Parker driving on Blake. Another tough finish.